We support the United States acting to prevent Iran from obtaining a nuclear weapon and to prevent Iran from continuing to threaten international peace and security.
It happened early Saturday morning. One of the first strikes of the U.S.-Israeli attack on Iran hit a girls' school in Minab in southern Iran. The death toll is now at least 175, most of them primary school girls. The girls' ages range from 7 to 12. After the strike, parents search for their children among the dead.
This is her math book, Mohana Sari, first grade. This is her folder with her schoolwork, her homework here. What wrong has she done? Her color pencil box is still in her bag.
My fellow Australians, do you think that Prime Minister Albanese, Foreign Minister Penny Wong and Defence Minister Richard Marles really believe the script that they've taken straight from the White House and Netanyahu's PR machine, that by bombing Iran and killing the Ayatollah, they're making the world a safer place for us and our kids?
Graves dug for the early victims of the war. A school in the Iranian city of Minab was hit by strikes on the first day of the conflict, killing 168 people, dozens of them young schoolgirls. Trucks carried their coffins through the street, lined by thousands. The school was next to a Revolutionary Guard base.
Torn apart while they worked at their desks in their primary school in southern Iran by a misguided bomb which probably had its incorrect coordinates programmed by the United States or Israel from our Pine Gap. How do you live with that, Richard Marles? How do you live with that, Penny Wong? Albanese? Do you think if you were a parent at that school, would you handle scrambling through the rubble to be able to find your beloved Lachlan? Penny, how would you feel if it was your two daughters, Hannah or Alexandra, that were buried under that rubble there, and you had to bear the scar of that for the rest of your life with your partner, with your wife, explaining to yourself why this had to happen just to make the world a safer place? Richard Marles, when you squeeze one of your daughters, of your 4 children, and hold her close to your chest, do you really know what it would be like to suffer the loss of one of your precious children because of a misguided bomb that hit their school, and that bomb was probably programmed out of a defence facility which you've happily handed over to the United States and Israel to bomb any country they choose in the world because they want to make the world a safer place for us and our kids?
It's not a question of if, it's a fact that intelligence relevant to what's going on in Iran at the moment and in the Middle East, some of that intelligence would be travelling through Pine Gap. Why on earth the Australian government would almost gushingly get behind the US and behind Israel in breaking international law, it's unfathomable.
Can you tell the Australian people if Pine Gap is being used to gather intelligence for Israel and the US to conduct these strikes?
We never discuss that facility, but what I can say is what the Prime Minister and I have both repeatedly said: we did not participate in these strikes.
The reason I ask is that Andrew Wilkie, a former intelligence officer, says there's no way Pine Gap wasn't a part of this.
I've answered that question as best as I can.
A fireball erupts in Tehran's night sky.
Does Albanese really believe his own flawed logic that it's not okay to kill 15 Jews in Bondi, but it is okay to kill the Ayatollah and hundreds of Iranians in their cities and towns in one weekend of mass bombing?
50 Israeli Air Force jets destroying what was the late Ayatollah Ali Khamenei's underground bunker, an operation only made possible with air superiority over Tehran, which is allowing the United States and Israel to rain down wave after wave of strikes. Tehran's main domestic airport among the latest targets, with several passenger planes ablaze.
Prime Minister Albanese, Defence Minister Richard Marles and Penny Wong, you are not innocent bystanders in all this. By allowing the United States and Israel to have the coordinates for the bombing that they do inside Iran, you are complicit in the murder of thousands, by the time this is finished, of innocent Iranians who are caught in the collateral damage.
We're doing very well on the war front, to put it mildly, I would say. Somebody said, on a scale of 10, where would you rate it? I said about a 15.
They are toast, and they know it. This was never meant to be a fair fight, and it is not a fair fight. We are punching them while they're down, which is exactly how it should be.
Prime Minister Albanese, when your mother taught you, you make your bed and you lie in it, did she also tell you that it was okay for a state, a government, to break international law, for the state and that government to be able to kill another man, his daughter and his granddaughter, while he peacefully worked at his office at home, after his government, in good faith, had engaged with the United States to try and find a peaceful solution, to engage in diplomacy and concessions so that it wouldn't end up like this?
Unfortunately, what we've seen now is an absolute double standard where Western states are refusing to call out violations of the law when it comes to what they consider to be their allies.
This is exactly what Trump, Hegseth, Rubio, Netanyahu and your government wanted in the end. There was no chance for diplomacy. So we're now stuck in a similar situation due to weapons of mass destruction.
No deal. Donald Trump raises the stakes, demanding Iran's unconditional surrender.
Their navy is gone. Their communications are gone. Their leaders are gone.
Escalating beyond control, a warning from the United Nations as Israel launches another wave of strikes on Lebanon.
It's disgusting. I never thought the Labor Party would have slumped as low as this. How would you explain it to your hero, Albanese, and to your political mentor, Tom Uren, if you were standing in front of them now, that you're condoning being in bed with the United States and Zionist, genocidal bound Israel in doing what they're doing to the world?
Some analysts warn oil could go above $100. Now, in Australia, that would drive up petrol prices by up to 40 cents a litre.
Jim Chalmers, do you think it's worth a spike in the petrol price in coming weeks of 40, 50, 60 cents a litre, and the price of LPG gas going through the roof as families struggle to be able to put food on the table and to be able to pay their mortgage? Inevitably, inflation is going to go through the roof, and the Reserve Bank is going to put up the interest rates in the next coming weeks and months, all because of this stupid action by Trump, Hegseth and Rubio and Netanyahu. We have to pay the price. The people of Iran have to pay the price for these absolutely deplorable, disgusting, inhumane, immoral actions on the part of Trump and co, and your sycophantic agreement to whatever they do, that it's all in the world's best interest that we take these people out. When have we learnt the lessons of Vietnam, 2 wars in Iraq, Syria, Afghanistan, 23 years in Afghanistan, Australia's longest war, all the trauma that it created in the poor soldiers that come back from the war front, and their families have to live with them. When will we ever learn, Prime Minister Albanese, Penny Wong, Richard Marles? When will we ever learn? You don't make peace by declaring war on other nations. You don't make peace by dropping missiles and bombs on innocent people in their own country while they sleep at or work or study at school and universities or are sick in hospitals. You do it by diplomacy. This is a headlong helter-skelter into World War III, and Australia is deeply up to its neck in the quicksand. It will soon end in a nuclear war between the United States and China, Russia, and Australia will be dragged into it. All our nation will be radiated by the nuclear bombs and missiles that China and Russia has targeted on us, and it will be all hell to pay. You, Anthony Albanese, you, Richard Marles, you, Penny Wong, all the Labor cabinet that is giving the thumbs up for doing this are complicit in making Australia a prime target. Stop. It's not too late to turn around and to say stop. This is madness, what you're involved in. Absolute and total madness, insanity for the 27 million Australians that depend upon you to make wise decisions on what is in the genuine best interest of Australia.